you. Hi, everybody. Happy Monday. I'm actually back in the office today, back in my other house. Well, thanks for coming to my social media best practices presentation. I know we have this set for about an hour and a half, but I don't see us maybe getting to an hour and a half. But I will definitely leave enough time for any Q&A. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. So cool. All right. Well, I will get started then. So how do we social media? So a few of my best practices that I tell everybody when they're starting out on a university campus or any social media they're running. Number one thing is you want to maintain a consistent voice for messaging. You create kind of an image, your own brand. I know when I started here, it was coming up with, how does NKU sound? Oh, sorry, I have people in the waiting room popping up on me now. But yeah, so when you're creating your platform, you want to figure out, how do you want to communicate with your audience? Another thing is, remain active on all your channels. That doesn't mean you have to be on every platform. You don't have to be on, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Pinterest, everything. It really depends on your college, your organization. Maybe more people go to Facebook when they're looking for information about your college. So just maintaining which channels perform well and keeping them active. And if you start to realize, Instagram's not doing as well, we're not getting a lot of people on there, I encourage people that it's okay to deactivate an Instagram account that's not performing as well. That way, that just saves you time and effort where you can, take your information and really channel it to people that are listening and need to know. And then my last thing is, have a designated social media person, or even like a team, whoever. I know a lot of colleges use, like a student worker or an intern.
I was just looking around for it. Thank you.
Hello. So just having someone that's managing it and keeping an eye on it. And, as a social media person for NKU, feel free to let me know who's doing that. And then that way I can be in contact with them if they ever have questions, I can help them out. Or, if I have questions, then I know who to go to. And then just a few other best practices with all of your channels. Like I said, consider what platforms that you'll need and that you'll use. Like, is Instagram something that people are on, things that you know how to use, just considering that. And then, of course, every time you make a post, I always recommend that you have a photo or a graphic, just something to really catch their eye. Photos typically perform better, especially if it's a photo of a student or a faculty member or someone that your audience would know. And another thing you can use are tags and hashtags to expand your reach. So if you've partnered with someone like St. E, I know that's one of our bigger partners, tagging them in your post if it's relevant to them, and then they'll reshare it. It gets your content out there more. Even just tagging me, NKU, the entity of NKU, and I can help retweet or share just to help you guys, get that reach. And then certain hashtags that people are following. I know in the past, hashtags were pretty heavy, include a bunch of them. Through some of the research I found, you can just a few hashtags usually suffice, with the exception of Instagram. They love hashtags. And it's actually even better for accessibility reasons, which we'll get into soon. And then, of course, engage with your audience. You want to kind of humanize the experience for them. So if they're commenting things like, I love NKU, just even responding and saying, oh, we're glad to have you here, hashtag NorSup, or, oh, that's great. Do you have any questions for me? How can I help you? Just making it feel like, there's a person there. They're not just talking to a wall of text every day. And then, of course, follow accessibility protocols, which we will be getting into more of, because, you want everyone in your audience to be able to engage and understand your content. And also, it's just very important to make sure that we are maintaining those. And then just some advice for, I don't know if everyone here uses a scheduling service or is looking into a scheduling service. Each platform kind of offers their own, like Facebook will let you schedule ahead. Twitter lets you utilize a thing called TweetDeck. And I can send all these things after, just so in case anyone misses anything. But our thing is we use Hootsuite, which is like Loonly, Sprout. I actually have all of our channels on there. So when I post something, it goes to Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn all in one swoop. So if you can for your organization, I recommend it. It's helpful for me to plan ahead. And then depending on your account, 2 to 3 posts are usually sufficient for colleges or organizations, because you don't want to go overboard, but you also want to make sure you're posting. I know like NKU's is like, I post a minimum of like 2 posts a day, with the exception of the weekend. But like I said, for colleges and things, I think like 2 to 3 posts are usually pretty okay. So now the importance of accessibility. So this has been, I guess, not so recent now, but there's been, a movement to make sure that our web is accessible. And along with that, we want to make sure our social media is accessible. And like I said, we want our audience to access our content, and we want them to understand what they're seeing and what it is. And also just a note that there have been a few lawsuits for, websites that have not been accessible. So that's just important to keep in mind. And also, like I said, we want to make sure that everyone's experiencing the experience we want them to. So this ended up being a very blurry picture in here, which is another good note that all your images, make sure they are high res. So just a note, be mindful of embedded text and images. A screen reader can't pick up what's in this image, because to a screen reader, it's just an image. And then that's when you want to put alternate text on it. So for this, you could put join Pure Bar featuring wait for a free 45-minute class, like just something in the alt text to let them know what it says. And a lot of tools actually offer that ability to add alt text. Like LinkedIn does it, Facebook does it, Twitter does it. Hootsuite is fantastic about it. When I go to post a Facebook and LinkedIn image, it will prompt me to say, add alt text. And I can put, NKU's campus, or if it's a person, I would put just Lizzie Kibler. That way it just identifies who's in the photo. People who are viewing it will know. Like I said, each channel, gives that option for alt text. Instagram is the only one through Hootsuite I've noticed does not give me the option for alt text. So I have to go into Instagram once it's posted and then edit through there, which I'll have some images on the next slide that kind of show you how it's done. So as you can see up in the top left, that's where, Hootsuite will prompt you for it for Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And then Instagrams, you just go to edit, and at the bottom, you'll see alt text. And then you want to be as descriptive as you can. So imagine, you can't see what the image is, and you need someone to tell you what's in the image. You'd want to know, a lot more details than building. tree, and then same for Twitter down at the bottom left. You can do it like that, where it will prompt you with, who's in the photo, add description. And then just a few other ones just to show you, like, this is how Facebook's interface looks like, and then LinkedIn's interface. But yeah, they're really easy to do. I know Facebook will actually create its own alt text at first, but sometimes it's not always very accurate or detailed. So it's important to go back in and kind of check and see that it makes sense. But yeah, like I said, just stressing the importance of, we want to make sure our audience knows what's going on, and keep them engaged too. And then along with that, video, we've also been pushing for closed captioning. So YouTube will actually generate closed captioning for you. But a lot of times, like Facebook, it's not always accurate. I know with this past year, when I've been editing closed captioning, COVID would be like convent, or NKU was always KU. So it would always say something that didn't make sense. So it's important to just go back in and just make sure that everything reads correctly. Sometimes it can be kind of a beast with how long it is, but like I said, you want to think about our audience and make sure they're understanding. And sometimes I even watch a lot of videos with closed captioning, so it's nice having them. And that now that I've been doing closed captioning, I'll see it on Netflix anytime they mess up the closed captioning. I'm now watching. And then this is how you can do it. YouTube is very user-friendly with it. You can actually upload a file to it that you have, just a Word doc that can take it and transcribe it. You can have it just auto sync, or you can type manually. When I've had to do closed captioning for Zoom videos, Zoom will give you a transcript when you go to download it. That one's not always accurate either. So the way I've done it is I'll put it in a Word doc and kind of go through and find and replace words that I know have been messed up in the past, and then just copy and paste it into the type manually section. But any way that you find that works easiest for you. This was more of a trial and error thing for me over the past year, making sure it was working. But if you ever have any questions on how to do that or any easy tips and tricks, I have a lot of them. So back to just social media in general of, how do we measure results? Because we want to make sure that our content is getting out there, that people are actually engaging with it, what's working, what isn't working. So you can actually go through, if you're using a scheduler like Sprout or Loomly Hootsuite, you have access to some analytics like this, and you can see how your followers have been growing. Like, well, what was I doing during this time? If you can see my mouse, like, oh, there was a weird dip there for a second. Like, what did we post that week? Is there something that we need to change? Depending on how in depth you want to get with it. And then each platform even offers different insights. Facebook, you can download their insight tracker. Twitter has a way to download analytics. Same with Instagram. Now that Instagram's been meshed with Facebook, actually a lot of the analytics appear just in your Facebook interface. And then that's just a good way to check like your impressions, which is how many times people have like seen it across their screen. And that's the same as reach as well. And actually that's something that I focus on a lot, because I don't know if you're like me on social media, but sometimes like I won't like something or I won't comment on it just because, I didn't have a desire to do that, but it still was in front of me. I still got the information. I have the content. So for me, measuring that analytic makes sense. It's like, okay, well, it still got in front of them. That means, they took the information, they now have what I wanted them to see. And then you can also, track your followers, make sure people are following your content. So that ensures, greater reach. And then engagements, another thing that I think is important, to see if people do comment. But like I said, my number one is just making sure people see it. And this is just kind of how the interface looks. Like I said, with Facebook and Instagram, you can see like, why was there all of a sudden a burst in reach here? Which I can tell you this was May. So commencement was definitely all of a sudden it went up. And then, you can see when things kind of drop down, it's like, oh, okay, are we just getting back to the normal trends we have? And then over here, you can see like Facebook likes, Instagram followers. And then you can see over on the right here, that's how Twitter presents their impressions. Facebook and Twitter actually offer an option to customize when you want to look at it. Like I said, I could look at this in just the month of May, or, I can do May to August and see that trend overall. So it's a really helpful tool. I actually submit a quarterly report just to kind of see what's flowing, what's working. And then our full campaigns get their own analytics that I just create myself. So what to do now with, you've started your social media account. How do you want to roll with this? So my biggest tip is to experiment too. I mean, take all the best practices of, posting your photos, hashtags, everything. Just see what works, what doesn't, change up your posting times. I used to post at noon for Facebook. And then I learned, that changed, that people are actually checking it between 2 and 3 p.m. So I started posting at that time, which that's another thing you can track in your analytics. It will tell you like when your users are most active. And that's just a good thing to know. Like I have noticed that Twitter is usually a 9 a.m., 10 a.m. trend, which is probably people coming in, getting downtime at work, checking in, and then coming back. But yeah, and then feel free to research a bit. I'm constantly trying to look up articles. I'm on TikTok and Instagram a lot myself. So just like actually seeing those trends, knowing those trends is important. And then of course, ask your friendly neighborhood university social media person for advice. Marketing and communications is here to help you guys with anything, from advice, posting times, reading analytics, if you need me to kind of look at it and walk you through it. Or even, you have an event going on that should reach the campus, just let me know, tag me in it. And I would love to retweet or share to help you guys out. So yeah, so any questions, feel free to email me. Which now I am here at questions. So I'm gonna stop sharing. So yeah, sorry, that went a lot faster than I even thought for the hour and a half. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, anything I said that didn't make a lot of sense, hopefully I can clear it up a little bit. I don't know if there's like a raise hand option or anything, but
I have mine raised. Can you hear me?
Yes, hello.
Hello.
Hi,
Thank
Stacey.
you. Thank you, Lizzie, for doing this. By show of hands, how many here are actually social media content managers? Okay, so there's a few. There's a few for sure. Were there any practices that you didn't know about, or any questions that you're like, oh wow, I wasn't doing this, and how do I address that? Anything we can do to help you?
Lizzie, it's Siobhan from Health Counseling. How are you?
Hey, good. How are you?
Good. Hey, I always turn to you because you're my guru when it comes to social media. But I still get very stuck on like the accessibility. I think that's kind of a new area, just making sure that what we post, that it is, accessible to everybody. So I just, if you could, I mean, I guess give me some extra tips or making sure, I know you went over a little bit. I don't know if there's a review or extra tips you have.
Yeah. I mean, just since, like I said, this is still kind of a recent thing, and I've just kind of gotten into like, I give myself a checklist, kind of like now it's a mental checklist, but when I go to post something, it's like, okay, now I have this, I have what I've written out for my post, it all makes sense. And then just kind of click the edit button that you'll see on Facebook. Because I think you post directly to Facebook without using like Hootsuite or anything. Um, but that's just kind of just making a note of, okay, I need to post the alt text. I need to make sure, this image doesn't have a ton of text embedded in it. And if it does, I'll have to write it either in the post or in the alt text section. So yeah, I guess that's like my best advice of it. Just kind of try to get it into your routine of making sure it's in there. But I think that's like the main one for social media. Oh, I did mention about hashtags not being accessible, and I didn't get back to that. So it's actually a recent thing that I was reading up on that they say you should put your hashtags in the comment section for Instagram specifically. Because if a screen reader is going through the caption and it says, beautiful day on campus, hashtag college, like the screen reader will read that chunk. But with it being in the comments on Instagram specifically, the hashtags will still apply to your photo. It'll be fine. But now someone doesn't have to listen to a screen reader for 2 minutes of all the hashtags. But with, like I said, Facebook and Twitter, Facebook, they were never really big on hashtags. So just keeping those very few is good. Twitter, you're limited to, 280 characters. So, but just a few on there is good. Or you can, like I said, comment on Twitter too, and probably do the whole chunk of hashtags to kind of be on there. But that way, no one has to read, like I said, a chunk of hashtags for a screen reader. I know I just saw some. Is that, sorry, Siobhan. Was there any other questions on accessibility?
No, that's great. Thank you. I appreciate that. And that's good to know about the hashtags, because I think us novice people, or as my kids say, the old people who use Facebook, are maybe get a little crazy with the hashtag. So thank you for that tip.
Yeah, no worries. Like I said, I actually just learned that myself because another tip with social media is it is constantly changing. So if you ever encounter something, you're like, hey, that's really new, like feel free to ask me, or, like I said, there's a ton of research online that helps too. But I just saw that we have, oh, Bob, I didn't even see your message about managing the weight room, but thank you.
You're okay. It's all good.
Still very appreciated. So answering Maria's of, do we have access to Sprout, Loomly, Hootsuite through NKU? I believe that will be something that you'll have to purchase at the department level. There was a free trial for Hootsuite that let you schedule like 2 posts in a week, which might, be totally perfect for your college organization. But yeah, you can research any of them to see, what your department is willing to purchase. But like I said, there's the free trial, or there's like the very like bare minimum cost. That's not too bad.
All right, awesome. Can I ask another quick question while you're on me?
Yeah, for sure.
What do you do? So I love that we can use those resources to post against the cross platforms. What do you do about messaging? Because, maybe LinkedIn is a little more buttoned up than a Facebook post would be. And I know it's a little different for you, but do you do any adjustments as far as the different platforms? how do you recommend doing that?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, for messaging for LinkedIn is definitely can be different because, it's the more of the professional social media. Whereas, like Twitter and Instagram, I try to keep those a little bit more fun, especially Instagram when we're posting pictures and things. So yeah, when you're posting it, I know in Hootsuite, you can do your message and it will go to Facebook and Twitter, and then you can go back and click your Twitter post you have scheduled, and then you could edit, whatever your tone of voice is that you want for Twitter versus the Facebook post. Does that make sense?
Yes, that's perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Then I have Shauna's. Oh, thank you, Shauna. Yes, so yeah, the free accounts for limited channels for Buffer or Hootsuite. I've never used Buffer, but I have heard good things about that one. Oh, okay. So yeah, Creator Studio for Facebook and Instagram. They let you post alt text for Instagram ahead of time too. Thank you, Jennifer. I did not know that. That's awesome. Okay. So yeah, then Instagram, you can do it that way too. So that's just through their Creator Studio version. I don't know where Jennifer is.
Yeah, it is. You can go in and it lets you can check like in the advanced settings. You can check to have it post to both Instagram and Facebook at the same time. And it lets you add alt text on both Facebook and Instagram.
Oh, that's fantastic.
You
Yeah.
can't do it within Hootsuite, but if you could do Facebook and Instagram on Creator Studio and then Twitter for something else.
Oh, cool. Well, thank you.
Yeah, you could just use TweetDeck, I guess, because then you're using all free tools, right?
Yeah, because TweetDeck offers that ability to do alt text as well. So, well, then see, like I said, you're always learning about social media. New things are always popping up. Thanks, Jen. Yeah, I'm gonna have to start looking at that and using that more. And then I have, for the question about, what platforms younger students are using, we have been noticing that the trend is going towards Instagram and TikTok has been our big one. If anyone's familiar with all the TikTok stuff going on, we hit our target audience of 18 to 24 on Instagram. And I've noticed on Facebook, our target audience is usually like 23 to 28.
Yeah.
And that's actually something you can track in a demographics section in your analytics. I'm sorry, I heard a voice.
Yeah, that was just me. Sorry. I just wanted to hop in and say, that's a great opportunity for you to segment some of your messaging. Maybe you want to hit donors and alumni and that type of thing on Facebook and on LinkedIn, and then focus on Instagram. And I think Twitter can also meet our student population. But I'm going to highly recommend that you circle back around with Lizzie and I about TikTok and how we can help you cultivate content for TikTok. Maybe you don't want your own TikTok account, but we could certainly help get a few pieces of content for your section and help highlight your area on the NKU TikTok account. We launched that in January, and it's slowly building up following. I think we have over 400 now, which sounds kind of small in the scheme of social media, but it takes a while to get that following, and it's growing exponentially every month. So please, we're happy to come to campus and help film. If you have an idea, anybody here who wants to actually dance for us? No, I'm just kidding. but maybe getting students involved to showcase your particular subject.
Yes, we are always looking for content and we would love to showcase. I know Rose is familiar with that because we brought Victor in to encourage people to get their vaccine. So we can help with, any parts of your organizations. And then the last question I see on here is advice on negative comments. So social media is awesome for connecting with everybody, but unfortunately we get negative comments on there. Sometimes they're, people call them, quote unquote trolls who are just trying to get a rise out of you. And sometimes, we have genuine complaints that we need to address. So I guess starting with, if there's a genuine concern and someone's commented on our post, we'll usually do maybe like a private reach out message to them. Or, we'll consult if they call out a certain department or call out a certain whatever. We can actually reach out to that department and, talk with them, figure out the best way to approach it. We try not to post too publicly about it. It's more of a private reach out to them to help them. But you can always comment back publicly to say, I'm glad we could help you with your issue. Thank you for reaching out to us. That way it's generic enough, but it also shows that you responded and you handled it. As for, other negative comments where someone's just tearing you apart, which we've experienced in the past of, a lot of it falls under freedom of speech. People are welcome to voice their opinions, voice whatever. If there aren't, curse words or someone, putting out libel, fake, any fake news about someone, you almost have to just let it go. We have in the past, if it's the same comment, just repeated, we have deleted them all but the one comment because it kind of falls under spam. Or if they're harassing someone, that can be addressed. Of course, if someone's commenting, I think it's important to kind of research it to see what it is, see if there is something you can do to help them. We are very student first. We want to make sure that they are being heard. But yeah, a lot of it, just kind of let it roll off your back if they're just really being mean, to where, they're not harassing or doing anything that you can get rid of their comments. For me personally, I just, take a deep breath, realize it's not you, they're mad at something, but let them, keep their voice heard. I hope that did you have any follow-up questions on that? Okay, thank you. I see you.
I had a quick thought, Lizzie, that I might add from the behavioral perspective. Because I know you occasionally send stuff to us, and Autumn, I know you're the one that asked the question. But the opportunity, if somebody is like harassing or creating harm for another person, not necessarily the department, but for like another person's, if we find out that that person's a student, like that's something our office or certainly y'all can manage and intervene in, because we don't want harm to be perpetuated by our university, social media atmosphere, if that makes sense. So not saying anything different from what you said, Lizzie. A lot of it is protected speech, but it's just we want to address the behavior if we can too.
Exactly. Yeah. And having, the student conduct rights, that's very important because you want to make it, if another student's being attacked, that's not cool. we don't want that student to feel horrible because we're letting someone else, act like that. So definitely. I know if you have any questions on that, for me, I've reached out, to your department, Bob, or other people. Stacy's actually my supervisor who I report to. So I have consulted with her, consult with your higher ups, whoever, just to, and like I said, our department can probably help point you in the right direction too. So feel free to send us an email if you see something kind of crazy.
And usually, if something has escalated enough where they're feeling like they need to post on social media, usually somebody has already heard it. Somebody has already fielded, the in-person complaint or an email complaint or something to that effect. So people know it, but just rolling it up the chain, like you said, just to give heads up, hey, this is happening out there. It might not blow up. It might just be a one-off comment. Someone's having a bad day. But we certainly don't want to, make it public, make any back and forth public. You want to handle it behind the scenes when you can. So
Thank you, Stacy.
trolls, I'm telling you.
We learned a lot in the past year. This was a very interesting year for learning, everyone being virtual. And also for Bob's question, I mean, you guys can pretty much, sorry, he was asking if, you should consult marketing and communications about making any social media accounts or just kind of work with their own leadership. I mean, you guys are pretty okay to just go ahead with it. I like, giving me the heads up because we do have a social media hub listing every organization's social media account. So just also a way to help you. That way it's listed in the directory. But yeah, I mean, like I said, you're pretty much free to do it. I guess you're planning a TikTok where you'll be dancing on there, right? That's what you mean.
If you need dancing volunteers, you should talk to Javance, not me. No, no. It's just people have been. I've been encouraged to create an Instagram account, so I wanted to check and make sure that wasn't something we needed to work with y'all on.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Certainly, I'll consult.
Oh yeah, I mean, definitely. Just like I said, if you want to send me an email, just so I, have it, the link and everything. And of course, make sure it's remains active and everything else. Everything that was just presented in that beautiful PowerPoint we saw earlier.
100%. And Tiffany votes Arnie for dancing, just for the record. For the recording, Arnie is dancing.
Yeah. Do we have a quorum? Can we move that forward? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Bob's rules of order. Yes, Arnie is dancing.
But yeah, that's back to kind of that TikTok thing though. But if we ever want to, like I said, your organizations, we would love to feature you, especially, if there are specific months, celebrating your organization. We'd love to have that in there.
Even just to boost engagement, when fall here, we've got Fresh Fusion, but what happens after Fresh Fusion? And when they're like, oh, they don't want to make a commitment right away, in a couple weeks, can we push again on social media? And what we typically do on TikTok is we create a TikTok, we push it out, and then we use that TikTok across the other platforms to get more visibility. So it's not that we're just only talking to that 400. We're using that as a way to get people on TikTok as well. So
I had a question about links. So if I'm hosting, like we had an event recently and here's the link to register. I've seen some people post like, oh, link is in the bio. Is that the best practice for when you're posting a link in like Instagram or things like that? Or what is the best practice when you're posting a link that you want people to be able to click on or to copy and paste?
Yeah. So for Facebook and Twitter, I mean, you can pretty much copy the link in there. And I don't know if I had it in the PowerPoint, but that is also a good note for accessibility. Have a link that links back to something. So that's always good to include that. But for Instagram, like the reason they'll post link in bio is because Instagram doesn't let you copy and paste out of their captioning, and it doesn't generate like a clickable link. I've actually started using a thing called Linktree. It's free to use. You can put as many links as you need to in there. Like right now, if you hit our Instagram, it has, a link to the NKU homepage, a link to where you can apply. Try to update it for Shop NKU, Linktree, or I'm reading Bob's comment in my head. Linktree is great. Thank you. And then, any up-to-date campus communication that way. But yeah, that's just a good way to do it, especially for Instagram, since they won't let you have like a linkable link.
Just a note for events, anyone here who's putting together events and needing to promo, we do have a new event calendar that we're using on the external website. Please be sure to enter that. I know a lot of the student affairs events are being entered by David Berlin. But if you have any questions on whether that's already been entered or you're working on something new, I'm just going to do a web plug there. Sorry.
But yeah, that's good. It's good to have the event calendar and everything to check out. Just something to link to.
Lizzie or Stacy, I have a question about that. So we don't have to do like double duty. I wonder if there's any way that if we enter the events on Presence, I'm wondering if your calendar and our calendar could maybe have, something.
I've asked. Yeah,
Okay.
I've asked. I haven't been able to get any answers on that. So if you know of a technical person on Presence, I'm more than happy to try to figure that out.
Okay.
We're doing something similarly for athletics, where I go in, I'm able to download an XML data and then upload it to the calendar. And I know that David's put in like 140 web event requests. So, but yeah, if we can figure that out, if you know who I can speak with, that would be great.
Yeah, Jennifer Taylor is our person who has done all the APIs to like make Presence work with SAP. So I'm like, they can work with SAP, it can work with anything, maybe, because it's also working with EMS, like the reservation software. So most of the new companies sort of have that together. So Emily Segraves is our person who works with that. Who should Stacey should have her reach out to you or Lizzie about that?
Me, please.
Okay.
I can also ask Jennifer Taylor.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Good info.
Cool. Anyone have any other questions or comments or anything that you've noticed on social media that was super weird?
Yeah, Lizzie, I have a quick question about analytics.
Yeah.
So with the Apple privacy policy going into effect around October, is that going to impact if we're going to be able to see like how many people are reaching on Apple devices specifically? Or have you read anything about, because in email, we're not going to be able to see like true open rates anymore. So I was wondering if there's going to be any like social media impact that way.
I know there were things with ads reaching. Well, this was something that Facebook was changing up. You had to go in and do like a whole special thing behind the scenes, but I don't know about the iPhone one. I know there was like the same issue with like UK residents, like United Kingdom residents, where we couldn't get like European data because of the privacy. It just blocked it. I want to research that a little bit more, especially since a lot of people are iPhone users. So that could greatly impact our data. Do you have if you have any like articles or anything that you've been seeing, I can check those out.
Yeah, I'll send them to you.
Okay, well, thank you. Yeah, but I know because we would get that like warning of like, just so you know, UK residents, due to recent privacy settings, that won't be logged in these analytics. But I feel like iPhone users affect a lot more.
Yeah, I'm nervous, but we'll see.
Hopefully that we'll be able to get some sort of report. Maybe they'll report back without like demographics or something, maybe just like very bare minimum reach or something to show you. But yeah, thank you. Good question. But yeah, hope everyone's having a good Monday. Also, it's beautiful out. It's humid, but it's beautiful. Cool. Well, I do have a list of resources that is at the end of my PowerPoint. So I might just send you guys my whole PowerPoint just so you have it. Does that sound cool? Okay, cool. And then, you'll have a list of resources. I have something on there called 5-Minute Social Media. It's this guy on YouTube who does like very cool tips and tricks, just to kind of view for any extra stuff. And I have links to our accessibility pages, our other best practices that we have listed, just some good stuff to just have, on the side. And of course, you always have us. So if you ever need us when we're, off campus or on campus, I think we're going to start, being a little bit more of a presence on campus physically. So if you guys ever need anything, just feel free to stop by, call me, text me, beat me. If anyone knows the Kim Possible ringtone. Cool. Well, thanks for being here, guys. Thanks for listening to me ramble for a while. I hope.
Thanks so much, Lizzie. We
Thank you
appreciate
so
it.
much.
Thank you.
It was
Thanks,
great.
Lizzie.
Thanks, Lizzie.
Thanks. Bye, guys.